Chiles Rellenos, a classic Mexican dish. And this is the way that my mom taught me how to make the Chile Rellenos. I always make extras because they do take some work, and I always divide them into batches. We eat one on day 1 and then eat a second batch on day 2. I roast the poblano peppers and then I put them in a bag so that way they can go ahead and sweat. And then after a few minutes, I peel them and then I pat them dry. I cut the crown of the seeds, so with some scissors it's easy to remove them this way, and then I grab a spoon to remove the extra seeds left behind. Then I use my favorite cheese and then I stuff them. To prepare the sauce, I'm going to be using 3 Roma tomatoes, and then I had some leftover tomatoes, so essentially it would be about 4, with 3 cloves of garlic, 2 tablespoons of chicken bouillon, and then I'm going to blend up with half of a cup of water. And now it's time to preheat the pan with 1 tablespoon and a half of vegetable oil. And then I'm going to saute the onion. This is 1 large onion because we love onion. You can use half. I diced it and then I'm just going to saute it until it becomes translucent. I added some oregano sprigs. This is about 4 sprigs of oregano. If you're using dry oregano, it can be 1 tablespoon of dry oregano. And now I'm just going to go ahead and add the sauce and make sure that the heat is medium high. I want to make sure that the tomato is nice and sauteed. And then once it starts to simmer, here I'm going to be adding 3 cups of water. And I'm going to taste to see if it needs more salt or chicken bouillon. So I'm going to stir. And then I'm just going to let it simmer for about 7 minutes while I'm preparing the chile rellenos. While this is simmering, I'm going to be preparing the batter with egg whites. This is 7 egg whites. I'm using a hand mixer. I'm going to mix it for about 7 minutes. I'm not including the yolks yet. Once it forms a stiff peak, then I'm going to be adding 1 tablespoon of flour and incorporating the egg yolks. Next, I'm going to pat dry the rellenos and I'm going to add flour on both sides. And now it's time to start frying our chile rellenos. I've already had some oil preheated. As it touches the oil, sometimes the batter tries to move away, so I use the spatula to bring it back together. And I make sure to leave the stems intact because they're so helpful for me to just grab it and flip it to the next side. The egg batter cooks super quickly, a couple of seconds on each side. The poblano's already been roasted, so pretty much you're just making sure that the batter is cooked. And that's it. This is the result of the chile rellenos. I made 10. I always enjoy eating the chile relleno just with rice and a flour tortilla, and I just make a burrito. And then also the sauce, I divide it in 2. On day 1, I make about 4 of them, just so that way we can have for dinner. And on day 2, I just take more of the sauce out, I heat it up, and then I add the chiles, and then I bring it back to a simmer, and then we have chile rellenos for 2 days. I use queso fresco ranchero, and I also use mozzarella. Remember to like, follow, and share for more of my home cooked recipes. Enjoy!